Okay, once again, welcome to Financial Ethics, CED 6240. So I'd like to talk about two things before we jump into standard number one. One is what are ethics? And the second is why ethics are important, particularly as they relate to the investment industry. So let's first of all get a general definition of what ethics is. So ethics refers to the study of making good choices. It encompasses a set of moral principles and rules of conduct that provide guidance for our behavior. Business and financial markets thrive on trust. And that's defined as a strong belief in the reliability of a person or an institution. In 2013, study on trust, investors indicated to earn their trust, the top three attributes of an investment manager should be the following. One, transparency and open business practices. Two, taking responsible action to address an issue or a crisis. And three, has ethical business practices. So if you want to build up the trust of your clients, think about these three essential characteristics. And once you have somebody's trust, it's much easier to do business with them. So specific communities or societal groups in which we live and work sometimes codify their beliefs about obligatory and forbidden conduct in a written set of principles, often called a code of ethics. Standards of code of conduct serve as benchmarks for the minimally acceptable behavior of a community member and can help to clarify the code of ethics. The CFA Institute is an example of a community with an established code of ethics and standards of conduct. These beliefs are presented in the Code of Ethics and Standards of Professional Conduct, Code and Standards, which are included in the CFA Institute Standards of Practice Handbook. Okay, let's look at why ethics matters. So first of all, we have to recognize that society benefits from efficient capital markets. That is the allocation of investments and credit to firms that can make good use of that capital. And to do that, and the stakeholders need to depend on the trust of the people involved in the transaction. So people who are going to invest or people who are going to loan out money, whether they be investors or creditors, rely upon the statements, the character, and other factors that organizations and individuals present. And so trust is an essential part of having an efficient capital market. So laws and regulations certainly are important and are at the foundation of things that happen in capital markets. But above and beyond that, we need an ethical foundation and compass that creates fair and transparent markets. So it's not just enough to have laws and rules and follow those. We need rigorous ethical standards so that we can foster, earn, and maintain investor trust. And when unethical conduct occurs, we lose investors' trust. When we lose investors' trust, they start to withdraw from investments and credit to individuals or to markets altogether. And so it's important that the whole investment community develop a culture of integrity so that stakeholders, investors, creditors, and others who want to participate in these capital markets can feel that they have all the information they need to make rational decisions. The CFA plays a key role in the investment profession. So they lead the investment profession globally by promoting the highest standards of ethics, education, and professionalism for the ultimate benefit of society. And they fulfill this through their Code of Ethics and Standards of Professional Conduct, which is really going to be the focus of this course. We're going to explore all the standards as they relate to the Code of Ethics and the Standards of Professional Conduct. You should know that as we review the 7 standards that currently exist, they're revised periodically. They're also applicable globally. So many of you are international students, and these Code of Ethics applies no matter where you are. And All CFA Institute members and candidates for CFA designation must comply with these standards to remain in good standing. So when you think about the investment profession, let's talk specifically about ethical standards application. First, act with loyalty. Put the client's interest first, as opposed to your own. Exercise independence and objectivity. So what that means is that we expect you to not be biased, not to give just some of the information. We expect that you'll give full and fair accounting of everything you know, and not be influenced by a firm, a client, or your own interest. You need to be transparent, offer full and fair disclosure, make suitable recommendations. That is, you want to, again, thinking back to putting the client's interest first, make recommendations that are in his or her best interest. Avoid any conflicts of interest. So you can't serve competing parties. You have to decide, am I going to represent the buyer or the seller? And once you represent that particular individual, then you need to give your best effort to them. And you want to treat everybody fairly. Okay? And whether they be a client or not a client, everybody should be treated fairly. And you also have to be diligent, right? The laws, the rules, and other things change. So you have to take reasonable care and use prudent judgment. And very importantly, protect confidentiality and prohibit trading on material, non-public information. And not only is that an ethical violation, in many countries that's also a legal violation. Okay, so our next discussion is going to be on standard number 1, professionalism.